And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Oxygen Not Included. Alright, I think it's time to start another big project here. We need a farm for these pincha pepper seeds. And this is a very complex sort of system, just because of what they require as far as like temperature and stuff. So I'm coming up here in our little warmer area. I'm thinking of doing it right up in here. And granted, we have a whole lot of hydrogen in here right now, and I really don't have a place to put that hydrogen. We could send it down with all of this carbon dioxide and basically vent it all down here. Could do that. That typically is what I do there. Just because getting it down here is essentially you would have to put it down here. It would have to go right in here to get filtered out. And we really don't have a whole lot of wiggle room when it comes to this gas supply here. We'd have to do, I mean, we could do it, but it would fill up this hydrogen. So it would completely fill this hydrogen up for a while. But everything else, I mean, I think we might be able to do that. Get rid of all that. Get rid of all the hydrogen up here. I think would probably be good, because I want to build it in this block up here, because it's the warmer block. So we're gonna want to clear all this stuff out. Let's dig some of this stuff out as well, and let's build some ladders. I want a ladder here and here and here, and let's build this ladder up and set this up as well, just so we can start digging all of this. Otherwise, we might run into a problem. And this polluted oxygen is just about, or polluted ice, I mean, just about to melt. If we look at the polluted ice details, minus 5.2, and we are sitting at minus 5.4. So 0.2 more degrees, and this whole basin will fill up with polluted water. So that is going to be something. I might not fill completely up. There's a little over 20 tiles, like 25 tiles worth of polluted water in here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, it'll fill up to about right in here, you know. So it'll be a lot. It'll be a lot of polluted water. We actually have a slight net gain of polluted water right now. Even with our fertilizer makers, a very slight net gain. So that's good. Because I think the pincha pepper plants require polluted water as a, as the fertilizer. I don't know what liquid is there. I don't know where that polluted water came from. That's weird. So yeah, we've got this big thing of chlorine right here that I never did get processed with the morbs. So the morbs, yeah, they see this. This was also full of polluted, or full of chlorine, and the morbs are slowly converting it over. So it's nice of them to do that for me. It just prevents me from having to vent it, because the chlorine would all build up down here. So when I finally do clear that out and break free this chlorine, it will slowly filter down my base and then build up down here, and then I can just push it out, pump it out. And somebody did make a recommendation of taking this gas vent and moving it over in here to help cool this area. And with all these Weezeworts in here, they are doing a great job keeping this area cool. I probably just need one more here, and then let that simmer for a while. So, now that we're kind of making some progress, I want to do an insulated tile, and I want to use abyssalate to do it. So, we're going to go across. It's going to be actually much bigger than this, but we're gonna start with this and go from there. So let's see. This is the ladder system that I have, but that's really not sure if I want to keep that or not. Build it out this way because it's a pretty big structure. So yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is plan on that. I wanna put insulated tiles in here just to prevent this cold from reaching up and pushing into this nice toasty warm area. Ooh, skill. Gastronard. Because we also need to think about expanding our sleet wheat farm, and I only have one Weezewort seed that I have not used yet. So we either need to find some more Weezeworts somewhere. I mean, I've pretty much tapped out this entire cold biome in here. I mean, we did a whole lot of exploration, and there's a little buried object there that might be a Weezewort seed. It's likely a sleet wheat seed, but it could be a Weezewort seed. And there's another one down here, but I think that's something else entirely. So yeah, we are in a really good spot right now to get this project going. So I want to finally break through all of that. And we need to plan. I'm going to cancel that. And we're going to build this out as much as possible. Takes them a while to build these. I'm not on super speed anymore, just because it can mess with the timings. So I opted out of doing super speed for a little bit. So the pinch of pepper plants, I don't think we have a free the hydroponic farm. Anyway, their temperature range is pretty high, like the 130, 140 degree range, and that's Fahrenheit, by the way. And it's pretty hot, and I want to make sure that we have a good system to protect it. And I might need to dig even more into this to make it even bigger. We also have to think about fluid, and if we look at our fluid, we have the ability to put another pump in here, and we could route it up, loop over that, and bring it up if it's polluted water. I want to say that it is. I'm really leaning towards it being polluted water. I can't be 100% on that though. So yeah, they're up in the chlorine. They have to hold their breath while they're up here, and this is going to let all this chlorine sort of leak out, but that's okay. Plus it gives us some more bleach stone that we can use. There we go. And they found a way to move around, although I don't know why they choose such a weird circuitous route, but hey, you know, to each their own. Alright, so the general gist of this is these things are going to be wanting a very, very hot temperature. So we're going to create a little buffer room here. I really wish I would have opted for having this be our main line, but you know, we gotta be a little bit more flexible in that. Let's take out this. So this phosphorite is also important. This is what is used to actually fertilize the blocks themselves. So that becomes very, very important. And as we get this insulated tile in here, it's going to stop. It's going to really halt the progression of this cold air that's coming in here, because there's a lot of it. Our base is nice and cool. It's much preferable to be cold than it is to be hot. So we're also going to need all the way up here. And as they expose more and more of this, we will build more and more of this. I could have put another ladder set down here, but then they would have to build the ladders, and so we're going to clear all of that too so they can build the next one. Alright. It looks like that is unreachable. I'm going to take that abyssalite out. It's a little toasty, but I'm going to take that out. Okay, they're building the next one. That's good. Okay, so our first room is going to be right here, and it's going to be a, so make it a 2 by 2 wide or a 3 wide. I'm more opting for a 2 wide, just because when we put in the utilities, we have a space heater that's going to go right in here, because we need a room that's hot, so when they walk through it, it's, you know, it will maintain that temperature. Otherwise, they're gonna walk through, and we're gonna have this 97-degree air come through and hit the other air, and that's not good. And we are done for the night. So let's buzz through the night really quick. We've also been making more frost buns. Dirty hands. Yeah, I still only have 2 toilets too, and that could become a problem as we add people. Okay, we're moving a little fast. Alright. Oh, they're fertilizing the sleet wheat. That's okay. So, the pincha pepper plants, we're also going to want to go up with this and build over the top. Because I actually need power to come in over the top in this design. So we also want to grab up as much of this phosphorite as we possibly can, because that is going to be pretty important. Good old Puffed is at work there. These guys are doing some work. Everybody's pitching in, even everything else is pitching in. Okay. This is a very large building project, and we will finalize the design here in a second, because these plants need to hang down 3, and we won't be able to harvest them if they're 5 high. So we need a lot of space in here and a lot of heaters in order to maintain the ideal temperature. We also need to worry about pressure. So pressure is a big issue. Because we need it to be pressurized as well. Okay, so I'm thinking all of these need to go. then we can build the... Because the insulated tiles will come up to here, which is 5 high, but then the hydroponic or the farm tiles will go one below that, and they'll hang down 3 and leaving a space, and we'll still be able to reach the blocks in order to harvest what we need to harvest. So it's an important design choice, and I've seen a lot of these designs, you know, in other games that people play, and you know, some are good, some are bad. I don't know. So, some work, some don't. Yeah, it's a little toasty up here. Everybody's complaining that it's hot, but it has to be hot. And that also makes harvesting these plants tricky too, because it is really, really hot in the room with plants. Because these things need to be very, very warm. So what I think, I'm going to alter the design I had in mind slightly, because we need a way of pressurizing the room. Because, you know, if they're not at their ideal pressure, just like we did over here, you know, the pressure keeps falling. So we've got these deoxidizers here, and these things will control the pressure, the room's pressure, and we need a similar setup over here. So I think right away in the very first room here, I'm going to put in a very similar system. But see, we only want it to run up until it's barely pressurized enough for the plants, because, you know, the deoxidizer is going to introduce cooler air. I'm not sure at what temperature what temperature they use, what temperature they output, but I know it's higher than what it's lower than what we're going for. So, you know, every time that thing runs, we're going to want to heat up the space. So yeah, we're going to have to move these morbs. Most definitely going to have to move these things. I want one more row up above. So yeah, a lot of digging. Okay, so if we were going to want to move these guys, again, moving creatures is basically waiting for them to stop, enabling debug mode, waiting for them to stop, hitting Alt Q. And that moves them. Warps them to where you want them. Okay. So here we go. We are clearing out the space very, very quickly. And we're going to need to dig into this area too. Unfortunately. This has got to be done. So let's dig that out. So I want to give them time to clear up all of this miscellaneous stuff on the floor, get it all cleaned up, although there's really no close place for them to drop that stuff, which is why it's going so slow. I'm probably going to need another transformer up here. I did start enclosing these areas in here just to kind of keep out the horrible decor hits. See, they come through here. It's just the decor is brutal when those heavy watt wires are in effect. I should have made this my main drag, now that I look at it, because this is the heavy watt wire, and if they're going to be coming up and down this, that would give us a lot more space to work with, matching it up with this. I think I'm going to switch this over so it's using this instead as the main line. Even though this doesn't go all the way to the bottom, we really don't have a need to come down here all that much. So I'm not certain I want to really deal with all that heavy watt wire. So I want to dig up all of that. You can see the hydrogen has depressurized quite a bit. Okay, well, I'm going to rearrange some stuff here, and we'll come back next episode, and we'll finish digging this out, and we'll come back and finalize the design. It's kind of a complex system, but hopefully we'll get it worked out. So that'll do it for this episode, and I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.